Biological neurons are much slower than artificial neurons. But they are also much more complex. Biological neurons have a lot of fault tolerance, which means that they can continue to function even if some of their components fail. Artificial neurons do not have this fault tolerance. Biological neurons store information in their interconnections, or synapses, and this information is not lost when the neuron dies. Artificial neurons store information in contiguous memory locations, and this information may be lost if the neuron fails. Biological neurons have several advantages over artificial neurons. First, biological neurons are fault tolerant, which means that they can continue to function even if some of their components fail. Second, biological neurons have the ability to learn and adapt. They can change their structure and function in response to new experiences. Third, biological neurons are energy efficient. They use very little energy to operate. Biological neurons also have some disadvantages. First, biological neurons are slow. They operate at a much slower speed than artificial neurons. Second, biological neurons have a limited storage capacity. They can only store a limited amount of information. Third, biological neurons are susceptible to damage. They can be damaged by a variety of factors, such as heat, cold, and chemicals. Artificial neurons have several advantages over biological neurons. First, artificial neurons are fast. They can operate at a much faster speed than biological neurons. Second, artificial neurons have a large storage capacity. They can store a large amount of information. Third, artificial neurons are controllable. Their behavior can be controlled by the designer. Artificial neurons also have some disadvantages. First, artificial neurons lack fault tolerance. They cannot continue to function if some of their components fail. Second, artificial neurons do not have the ability to learn and adapt. They cannot change their structure and function in response to new experiences. Third, artificial neurons are energy inefficient. They use a lot of energy to operate.